According to Mckinsey, the total economic impact of generative AI is estimated to be around 2 to 4 trillion. That's right, trillion, with a T, annually. But for every glowing review by an analysis company, there's poop. And I mean a lot of poop. And it feels like that some people are treating AI more like NFTs or the metaverse these days. So, is the hype solid? Or is it just another tech pump and dump? There are a lot of different kinds of AI. For this video, we're going to focus on the one that people hype up and talk about: generative AI. AI that writes, makes images, and audio based on what you tell it. Generative AI is said to have a lot of potential because people think that if it gets good enough, it can replace human workers. But can it? After all, AI is just fancy autocomplete and incapable of any creative problem solving. And even if AI gets good, there will always be a place for humans in the workplace. Or so you've been told. The problem with this line of thinking is that a lot of tasks that people do at work are routine enough that they don't need creativity. And even if humans are still needed to supervise, dramatically less people will be needed to be employed to make the same things happen. Another point is that ChatGPT is not the pinnacle of what AI can do. To achieve greater performance, you can simply generate thousands of answers and let another AI choose the best one. There's also ways of making AI think better, letting it search through stuff online or through databases, letting it use tools like calculators and simulators. There are even ways of chaining AI together to make them simulate whole companies. So yeah, now AI can do a lot more than just GPT-4. But is it really useful? I'm not gonna leave you in suspense here. Yes it is. Transformers, the technology behind generative AI, has solved protein folding, vastly accelerating drug and protein research. It has increased the amount of known stable compounds by 10 times. It's also discovered new math theorems and invented new sorting algorithms, and is now being applied to every domain of science. And this is just the beginning. Okay, but does that mean that the hype that all these new AI companies are pushing is true? A lot of the time, it's not. AI is not ready for game time in a lot of cases. Imagine making a random high schooler do a desk job. Possible, but you've got to teach them about how stuff works, certain quirks of company procedure and policy. It would take a while for you to get something that looks confident. Same thing for AI. Since you have to hire data scientists, AI engineers, and other highly paid people in order to make it work well for each case. But once you do, you just need to buy or rent more computers, and you can get a relatively cheap, infinitely scaling workforce. Already people are being affected by AI. Freelance artists, customer service representatives, copywriters, proofreaders, translators, voice actors, animators, 3D modelers, statisticians, researchers, data entry, writers, musicians, filmmakers, stock photographers, stock models, and more. But if AI is so useful, how do we explain all the AI failures, like Amazon's cashierless stores? To understand that, we have to look at how corporations think. The goal of a corporation is to make money by selling something, like burgers. The best way to do this is by hiring people. But people are expensive, and AI-powered robots, which run on electricity alone, are cheap. Let's pretend that you're a CEO. That means you get bonuses by making the company's profits go up. Now, profit is revenue minus expenses. And since it's easier to fire people than it is to sell more burgers, you're going to fire as many people as possible while replacing them with AI. Why? Because lower expenses means greater profit for the business and a fat bonus for you. But hey, maybe you don't want to do it because you care about other people or something sappy like that. First off, you wouldn't even make it through the cutthroat CEO selection process. But even if you did, your competitors who aren't nice will simply fire all their staff and then they'll put you out of business with cheaper AI burgers. The end result either way, a burger industry that only uses AI. And that's why, even if AI isn't ready, a company will still use them. It makes them look like they're getting ahead of the curve, it's part of an AI's training, and the hype boosts the stock price. Who cares if they fire important people? On average, CEOs are appointed for 8-year terms. So in their last few years, they can run away with their profits before the company begins to implode. Consider when the iPhone came out. One of the first apps that you had to pay money for was a flashlight app that could turn your phone flash on. Eventually, the flashlight feature was default on every iOS device, rendering the app useless. Why am I talking about this? Well, the frontier of AI technology is like iOS, and a lot of AI startups are like the flashlight apps. In case you think this sounds like a really smart metaphor, the credit goes to AI boss man Andrew Ng. So, in other words, AI as a whole is transformational, but a lot of early companies are like rappers, built on a constantly advancing frontier AI that could at any time surpass them. While these companies, like the flashlight app, do solve problems and add some value, the problem is their lifespan as frontier AI advances. In this video, we discussed if AI is pure hype or not. We talked about two kinds of hype. The kind around the technology, which is justified because it can produce infinitely scaling cheap labor, and the hype around AI startups, which is often not justified, since AI startups often offer capabilities that big AI companies will eventually match or exceed. We talked about how corporations want to look like they're using AI to make their stock price go up, which also leads to a lot of prominent failures when the technology is deployed in training and immaturely. The bottom line? AI isn't just hype, but some of the currently offered products are. And I can say with confidence that it is a $1 trillion opportunity. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your dog, your cat, the worms in the earth, the birds in the air, and the lice in your hair. I will leave you with this cat, which represents our future career prospects. Thanks for watching.